Hey everybody, welcome back. Breakfast with Bob, Boston Marathon Edition. We're presented and hosted by Highlands, Stop Your Cramp, Not Your Race, and by Polar, Chase Your Destiny. It's not often we get living legends joining us on Breakfast with Bob, but we do today. Please give it up for the amazing team of Dick and Rick Hoyt. Yeah! That's right, Rick. I'm wearing your shirts. I stole your Ironman Hall of Fame shirt. That's right. How you doing, Dick?
Doing very well, thank you.
Use this guy right up here a little closer.
It's so great to be here with you again.
It's always my favorite, chatting with you guys.
Well, thanks for coming all the way out to Boston and being part of this.
It's the best place in the world to be. Come on now.
There you go.
So take me back. How did this all start? With you and my main man, Rick, here.
Well, he's the one that started it all.
He did, right?
Yes, he did. He was attending a South Middle School in Westfield, Massachusetts, and his gym teacher got him involved in all the gym activities with all the other children.
Right.
And he was also the basketball coach at Westfield State College, and he used to take Rick to the basketball games. Well, at one of the basketball games, they made an announcement that one of the lacrosse players was in an accident. He paralyzed from the waist down. So they're going to have a charity road race to try to help him raise some money so he could pay his medical bills. And Rick came home from that game, and he said, "Dad, I have to do something for him. I want to let him know that life goes on even though he's paralyzed.
So
I want to run in a race."
Rick wanted to help somebody else out.
Right, yeah.
But when Rick was born, you were basically told to institutionalize him.
When Rick was born, we were told, forget Rick, put him away, put him in an institution. He's going to be nothing but a vegetable for the rest of his life. And we said, no, we're not going to put Rick away. We're going to bring Rick home and bring him up like any other child. And this is what we have done. Rick has been mainstream and included all of his life. Today he's graduated from high school, he's graduated from Boston University, lives all by himself, competed in over 1,200 athletic events.
1,200 athletic events.
1,200 athletic.
That's a pretty active vegetable. You are amazing, Rick. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, but that was back in the day where doctors would say things like that.
Yes, they would.
And
yeah.
if you guys hadn't ignored the doctor and gone off and done your thing, Rick might have been institutionalized.
That's right. Yeah.
So, what was that first event like? It was like a 5 mile or a 5K or something like that?
It was a 5 mile race.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we didn't have a running chair or anything. That's all we had was a chair. A
regular chair
that we had a hard time pushing, never mind running in it. And I was not a runner. So, but we said we would run the 5 miles, and we did. And we came in next to last, but not last.
Yes. Well, they thought you'd go down to the corner and turn around and come back.
Come back, exactly.
Yeah, and so you surprised everybody.
Everybody. Yeah.
And then, I'm sure, being from this area, one day you wanted to run the Boston Marathon.
Exactly, yeah.
But you couldn't qualify at your age. How old were you at the time?
I was, let's see.
40-something?
41 years old.
You were 41 years old.
Yep.
So your qualifying time would have been 3-something.
Right.
Yeah. And they said, because Rick was 20...
Rick was 18 or something like that.
18 years old,
So,
that you would have qualified at that time, which is a 2:45.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. So you had to go run a 2:45 marathon pushing Rick to qualify, and you went to Marine Corps.
We went to Marine Corps. Yes.
Oh, you had to run sub 250, and you ran 2:45.
2:45, yes, yeah. And we've been official entrants in the Boston Marathon ever since.
Well, what I love about that is to get to the race, you had to run a qualifying time for Rick.
For Rick, yeah.
And now there's a statue of you guys on the course.
A life-size bronze statue right on the starting line. It's just unbelievable.
That is the
And
coolest.
for the last 7 years, the crowds have been saying, Team Hoyt, you guys are the Boston Marathon.
You are the Boston Marathon.
And I've had directors from the Boston Marathon come up and thank Rick and I and say, we want to thank you for what you've done for the Boston Marathon.
You've humanized the Boston Marathon.
Right.
Because then a lot of people at one point thought the Boston Marathon was just for elite runners.
Right.
And then they realized it's for everybody.
Right.
But people don't realize. Now, what is the fastest marathon you've run pushing Rick?
We ran a 2:40.
A 2:40?
In the Marine Corps Marathon, yes. And we've been inducted into the Marine Corps Marathon Hall of Fame.
How many Hall of Fames are you not in? So you're in the Marine Corps Hall of Fame, you're in the Ironman Hall of Fame, you're in the Boston Marathon Hall of Fame. Rick, how many Hall of Fames are you in? About 50? It sounds like it. I think he's in about 50 So then, Boston Marathon's not quite enough. Let's go do this thing called the Ironman. And what people don't understand is you were sort of inventing it. trying to figure out how to come up with how do I pull Rick in the swim? Come up with a boat.
Yeah.
And by the way, thank you for pulling me through the Ironman. I was the guy hanging on to the back of the boat when you were pulling Rick. That was a lot of fun. It was I didn't have to work very hard. It was very fun. Hopefully I didn't slow you down too much. So you guys had to figure out the boat.
Right.
Then you had to figure out the bike which it was probably harder than the boat.
The bike for us is definitely the hardest part of the Ironman.
What did you rather than having Rick in a trailer in the back, you had Rick basically on the handlebars.
Yes, we had a seat built in front of the handlebars for Rick because I wanted to be able to talk to him and I wanted to be able to hydrate him.
Yes.
If I had him behind me, every time I had to give him a
you get off the bike.
Get off the bike. And then we probably wouldn't have made the Ironman time frame.
Well, and also the combined weight of you, Rick, the bike, plus all the nutrition, close to 400 pounds.
Yes. Yeah.
So you're pushing 400 pounds up towards Javi.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you have the chopper overhead while you're trying to feed Rick.
Yeah.
And Rick remembers that, right? I think you got a little shower. Rick got a little shower from that.
At the time, I had Gatorade, and I was reaching around and give it to him. The helicopter come down and sprayed Gatorade all over him. So he had to sit like that for the rest of the bike and the run.
And the run, covered with Gatorade.
Then they shot champagne all over him when he went across the finish.
So now he's got Gatorade and champagne. But nobody knew if you guys could make the bike cutoff. The bike cutoff time was the hard one, right?
Right.
That making the bike cutoff time. The first time was it the swim?
The swim. What happened was I drank some Gatorade. And I drank the replacement fluid.
Yes.
And afterwards, I was told you're not supposed to do that unless you're through competing. And so what happened was we had a pretty good swim going. We went around the boat, and then all of a sudden I was like paralyzed. I couldn't move my arms or legs, so I just tried moving my body, back and forth. And we had a big guy from the TV station, Barry Nolan.
Yeah.
And they were doing a feature story on us and all that, and I thought for sure he'd get fired, because he went out there and he didn't come back with a story.
That's right, because you guys had to drop out.
But what he did is he did a Father's Day story for the station down there, and it went over very well.
And so then the following year, you came and you made the swim cutoff.
Yep.
You made the bike cutoff time, and then what do you think your marathon time was? It had to be under 4 hours.
It was under 4 hours. Yeah.
At the end of the Ironman.
At the end of the Ironman. Yeah.
So you finished Boston, but now finishing the Ironman, that changed the perception of you guys, right? Wasn't there more media after finishing the Ironman?
Ironman, yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
And so that led to you guys speaking around the world, traveling around the world, and that became a full-time job.
It really did, yeah. Yeah, thanks to the Ironman. And we did Ironman Canada, and we've done Ironman Germany, and they all loved us out there.
Of course.
Germany, they wanted us to come back. Every race they're having over there.
I'm sure they did.
Yeah, and then we were even in Japan,
So all these years later, there are a lot of other dads who are pushing, dads and moms who are pushing their sons and daughters, and it's a Team Hoyt.
Right.
How big has Team Hoyt become?
Team Hoyt is being very large. They get Team Hoyt organizations all over the United States.
How cool is that?
And it's growing, and it's going to be going overseas. And these people, nobody makes money off of these.
No. They're doing it for their heart and soul.
Their heart and soul. They go out and they raise money, and then they buy chairs, and then they buy trailers. They put the chairs in the trailers, and they go to all of these races. And then the families can bring their children with them.
Right.
And we provide pushes, or the families can push them themselves. We got mothers pushing mothers in the Marine Corps Marathon and the Boston Marathon. It's just unbelievable.
So how many Team Hoyt people do we have out here?
Right here.
Got a bunch.
Yeah.
Now, you're not pushing.
No, I'm not.
You'll be in the VIP area. Having little hors d'oeuvres and stuff.
I had a back surgery 2 weeks before.
Yes.
Before Christmas.
Rick was laughing at that. While you're out there with getting rained on and stuff, Dad's going to be in the VIP area. That's right. Yeah. So now that you're traveling around the world, you've got Team Hoyt stuff everywhere. Are you surprised at where all this has come?
Yes, I really am. I didn't think it would get this big. I knew it would get bigger, but not this big. And I just got to thank all these Team Hoyts throughout all the states. They're awesome. They're unbelievable. And they know how to have a good time. And
yes, they do.
That. They really do.
The other thing is, you changed, like here, you changed perceptions for the marathon, that Boston Marathon is not just for elite athletes, it's for every man. I think Ironman became what would a father do for a son, right?
Yeah.
He'll swim, he'll bike, and he'll run with his son and for his son. Obviously, you gain a lot from this.
Right.
What is, for Rick, how important is the athletic stuff been for Rick?
Oh, it's just been unbelievable because he's always wanted to be an athlete, and now he's a top athlete. To be up there, it's just amazing. He loves it. He loves it, and now Brian's taken over because now he'll have done 36 Boston marathons, and I'll only have 32.
So wait, Ricky's got 36, and you have 32.
And I got 32 marathons.
You own him, Rick. You own him. 36 to 32. How about them apples? That's good.
And
that's very cool. Yeah. And now, are we going to see another Ironman in the future?
Well, that's my goal.
Really?
I want to try to do another Ironman.
For the 40th? No, not this year.
Oh no, not this
year. No,
because
you just had back surgery.
Back surgery.
But you want to do another one?
I do. I definitely do it. But you know what I would like to do?
What?
I'd like to do it in my age group, but pushing and doing it with Rick.
So you want to compete in your age group and push Rick at the same time and see if you can place.
Yep.
I love that.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for Dick and Rick Hoyt?
Thank you.
Love you guys. Again, Breakfast with Bob, Boston Marathon Edition, presented and hosted by Highland Stop Your Cramp, Not Your Race, and by Polar Chase Your Destiny, where we get to hang out with legends like Dick and Rick Hoyt. Rick, thank you so much, buddy. You are the man. Thanks for pulling this guy all of these years. We know that you're the brains behind the operation. Exactly. Hold on, everybody. We will be right back.